Let's learn about spline regression. So the idea is the relationship between two variables changes depending on depending on different sections of the value. Different sections, different portions of the value. And by relationship, I mean slope. And by different sections of value, I mean different sections of, say, the x variable. So let's go to an example. Let's say we are looking at the relationship between, let's say, age and number of hours study, let's say, per week. Let's start with age 2 when you're in, say, preschool. Let's say age 5. Let's go to 10, 14, 18. Let's finish at 22. So what does this data look like? So again, we're looking at age as well as the numbers of hours study. And when you're age 2, I mean, you're probably close to, let's add some numbers here. Let's say 0, 5, 10, 15. Yeah, let's do that. So at age 2, I mean, you're pretty much at 0. Age 3, you're probably not studying much in preschool or kindergarten and whatnot. And let's say age 5, maybe a little bit of studying. Let's say these represent different students. Okay, not too much studying. I don't know, maximum 2 hours a week, for example. Let's say age 10. Let's say around age 10 you actually see a bump up. And maybe there's some gradual increase as you get older. And then let's say you hit age 15 or 14. And let's say suddenly there's another bump up. And let's say as you get older, starting from age 14, you see accelerated increase in studying. And by accelerated, I mean there's a huge jump going from 14 to 15 to 16 to 17. And let's say at age 18, you're in college. Let's say in college, first year is super hard. You're taking those general courses. And maybe when you hit junior and senior year, you start specializing in the classes you're interested in, and it actually becomes a bit easier and you study less. Here in the US, we call it senioritis. We're not really studying that hard senior year. So let's say you actually see a negative trend when you're in college. So how might this relationship look like when we do, say, a linear regression? So when you do a linear regression, your model is going to be hours study, and it's going to equal to some constant plus age. And then age in this case, our coefficient, our slope, let's say, might look something like this straight line. Now, is that the best way to represent this relationship? So let's consider an alternative, which is known as a spline. And what a spline regression looks like is, let's say hours studied. We'll have our constant again. But in front of each age, we actually break up the age into these different sections. And what might be a natural way to break up these sections? So if you look at the age gap that I chose, they naturally fall with different periods of schooling. So here, between 2 and 5, this is pretty much preschool, pre-kindergarten, kindergarten. Between 5 and 10, that's pretty much your elementary school. Between 10 and 14, that's your middle school. 14 to 18, that's your high school. 18 to 22, that's your college. Again, these are just typical examples of ages here in the US. So what happens is, you're going to have a different relationship depending on which section or which bucket of ages you're in. So we're going to have age, then we're going to also have this elementary school age relationship. We're going to have the age relationship for middle schoolers, and these are actually interaction terms. You're going to have the age relationship for high schoolers, finally the age relationship for college students. And again, these are interaction terms, which allow for different slopes for age. And then the other thing we need is these indicators, which will allow for different intercepts. So what does this look like? So we're going to look at our pre-section. Our pre-section will map to this section over here. it will actually turn out to be a flat line. Let's see, like that. And then when you move on to elementary, you're going to get a slope like that. When you move on to middle school, you'll probably get a slope like that. When you move on to high school, you'll probably get a steep slope like that. And then when you move on to college, you're actually going to get a downslope like that. So again, the idea of spline regression is the relationship, i.e. the slope, varies depending on different sections of our x variable, in this case age. So we have one spline, one section of relationship, which is quite flat. So this is the preschool section, where there's no increase depending on age. And then when you enter elementary school, there's a nice moderate increase in our study, depending on increase in age. In middle school, maybe a moderate relationship as well. When you enter high school, there's a huge spike. As you increase your high school age, number of hour study actually increases much sharper than before. And then finally, when you get to college, it actually has a negative relationship because of, hey, junior and senior classes are a bit more fun because you're picking the classes you like, versus earlier years might be fulfilling general requirements, which makes it harder and makes you study more. So in this section, we actually have a negative relationship. And that is spline regression.